Hi, Heal community. I am excited to be bringing you a devotional this morning. I wanted to share with you this shirt that I recently got from a friend. He actually read my book and then he sent this to me because it really reminded him of me. It's from a rehabilitation center for animals, but it talks about recovery. And I want to read the definitions that it has on the back of this shirt. Recovery. 1, the act or process of recovering, especially from sickness, a shock, or setback. Recuperation. 2, restoration to a former or better condition. And 3, the regaining of something lost. I want to focus on regaining of something lost. So in Luke chapter 15, we see 3 stories of things that were lost. So 1 is the parable of the lost sheep, 2, parable of the lost coin, and 3, the parable of the lost son. And I love that because a lot of the times in Christian circles, we hear the parable of the prodigal son. And in my Bible here, it says the parable of the lost son. And so you might think that I want to talk to you today about recovering from your sickness or illness. And that's not what I'm here to talk about. You are whole. I believe you can be whole even amidst that pain. Yes, ask God for healing, but you are a part of the capital C church. We need you. We need your gifts. And we're recovering from something else. We're recovering from the lost state of our hearts. So I want to read just the parable of the lost sheep. Luke chapter 15, verses 1 to 7. Now the tax collectors and sinners were all gathering around to hear Jesus. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law muttered, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." Then Jesus told them this parable. "Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbors together and says, 'Rejoice with me, I have found my lost sheep.' I tell you that in the same way, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous people who do not need to repent." That is our original lost condition. We didn't know God, and he went after us. He found us, and now we're in the folds where he's our shepherd and he guards us, and leads us beside quiet waters where we don't have to want, where we don't fear the shadow of death. That is who he is to us now. And I'm not saying you're losing your salvation. I believe once you've genuinely meant that, you are saved, but we're still recovering from that condition of our hearts, from our flesh, right? Faith without works is dead. And so I think people who are in physical pain know this more than anyone because we're just confronted with it day in and day out of the broken state of our hearts. You know, we're confronted with the fact that we're prideful because we won't ask for help, and then we can't do something because we actually need the help. We're confronted with our lack of community because we don't want to go or can't go to church, and we need that. We realize that iron sharpens iron. We are confronted if we're bitter at God for why our circumstances aren't fair when we're comparing ourselves to other people's lives who appear really healthy, and we want that life, and we're not okay with God's sense of justice. We are confronted with those things in pain. That's what we're recovering from. But the good news is that Jesus is pursuing us the whole time. He's going after us like he did when he brought us to salvation. He's still showing us the way. He is our mighty God, wonderful counselor, Prince of Peace. That is who he is. And so my encouragement for you today is, yes, you're in a state of recovery. Your body's probably recovering from something, but so is your mind and your spirit. You are whole, but we are on this journey of recovery together. God hasn't lost you. It might feel like he doesn't know where you are, but he knows exactly where you are. He has you here for a reason. He's with you every step of the way. You are found.